Only the chosen ones should be here right now. If you are not walking the divine path, if your spirit is not aligned with truth, this message will not sit well with you. But if you are one of God's elect, if you feel that ancient pull in your soul, then stay right where you are. This message has found you at the exact moment it was meant to. It is not an accident. It is not coincidence. It is divine timing. And what I am about to reveal will shift something deep within you. Chosen one, you need to hear this from beginning to end. Before we go deeper, let me know you're here. Comment 999666 or 444 right now. Choose the one your spirit resonates with most. I want to see how many of God's chosen are gathered in this moment. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, and share this message with another chosen soul who needs it. Now listen carefully. What you're about to hear is serious, it's spiritual, and it concerns your divine destiny. There are forces that have watched your rise, sensed your calling, and feared your awakening. This message is not just information, it's revelation. Stay with me until the end, because the truth I'm about to uncover will not only protect you, but also empower you. You are here because heaven wants you to hear this now. The hidden attack against the chosen. Chosen one, let me speak to you plainly. There is a reason your life has been filled with strange resistance, sudden storms, and unexpected spiritual pressure. You are marked, not by man, but by heaven. And because of that, you are also marked by the enemy. When God places a mantle on someone, when he prepares a soul for divine assignment, the forces of darkness don't sit back quietly. They panic, they scramble, they send distractions, they stir confusion. And when all of that fails, they resort to something even darker. They seek help from those who operate outside the light. Understand this truth. The moment someone realizes they cannot stop you physically, emotionally, or socially, they look for spiritual interference. That is when they try to hire someone who deals with shadows, someone who manipulates energy with wicked intention, someone whose soul is not aligned with God, but with darkness. And chosen one, whether you know it or not, you have been on someone's spiritual hit list. Yes, I know it sounds intense, but you can feel the truth in your spirit. You've felt that invisible pressure. You've sensed that heaviness that came out of nowhere. You've watched people around you change suddenly, moving strangely, reacting in ways that didn't make sense. That is not random. That is not just life. That is spiritual warfare aimed directly at a chosen vessel. People don't target someone who is ordinary. They target someone whose destiny threatens the very foundation of their darkness. You carry an anointing that exposes lies, breaks generational chains, and brings clarity wherever you go. Darkness reacts violently to that kind of light. Your very existence disturbs the spirits some people worship. Your presence alone ruins the manipulations they depend on. So they try to silence you. They try to weaken you. They try to stop your ascent. Let me go deeper. The enemy does not attack you because of who you are right now. The enemy attacks you because of who you are becoming. The enemy sees what you cannot fully see yet. The influence you will have, the people you will guide, the breakthroughs you will create, the spiritual power you will walk into. They see the mission that God has carved into your spirit. And the darker the environment you were born into or placed in, the more violently the enemy tries to keep you from rising. This is why the chosen ones experience warfare from childhood. You have always felt different. You have always been isolated, misunderstood, or treated unfairly. That wasn't just people being people, that was spiritual resistance working through them, trying to shape you into someone fearful, doubtful, or spiritually numb. But instead, it shaped you into someone strong, awakened, resilient, and deeply connected to God. And now, you have reached a point in your journey where your light is too bright to hide. Your presence is too powerful to ignore. Your calling is too loud for the enemy to silence. So what do? They panic. They look for ways to stop what God has already ordained. And since they can't reach you physically, since their words no longer break you, since their schemes no longer fool you, they turn to the spiritual realm. They hire someone who deals with dark rituals, energy manipulation, or spell work, not because they have real power over you, but because your enemies believe the lie that darkness can overpower the chosen. What they fail to understand is this: darkness cannot consume what God has illuminated. No witch, no practitioner of shadows, no spiritual manipulator can override a divine assignment. But that does not stop them from trying. And every attempt against you reveals just how powerful you truly are. When chosen ones rise, they attract both admiration and hatred. People you've never hurt, people you barely know, people who've watched you silently, become deeply threatened by your glow. They don't understand why your spirit is different. They don't understand why God favors you. They don't understand why you rise again and again, even after situations that would have destroyed anyone else. So instead of self-reflecting, instead of healing, instead of growing, they seek shortcuts. They seek someone who they believe can spiritually undermine you. Someone who claims to influence energy, twist blessings, or block destiny. But chosen one, hear this loudly. No one can block what God has written. No force can rewrite what heaven has already stamped. Your destiny is sealed, not negotiable. Those who attempt to attack you spiritually are not powerful. They are desperate. They are intimidated by the divine force working within you. They see your future more clearly than you see it yourself. They sense the rise coming. They feel the shift in your energy. They recognize the protection around you. And instead of accepting that you are chosen, they attempt to fight what cannot be defeated. The spiritual world is real. Attacks are real. But so is divine protection. You've survived things that should have broken you. You've walked away from situations that were designed to destroy you. You've risen from depths that others never escape from. That is not accidental. That is spiritual proof of your anointing. Let me tell you something that will give you peace. Every attack against a chosen one becomes a testimony. Every plot becomes elevation. Every attempt to stop you becomes a reason for God to bless you publicly. The moment someone hires darkness against a chosen one, they seal their own downfall. Because the chosen are God's investment, and God protects what He invests in. So if you've been feeling drained, watched, spiritually pressed, or suddenly surrounded by strange chaos, understand this is not the end. It is the sign of your spiritual breakthrough. The attack is confirmation. The pressure is evidence. The warfare is proof that you are stepping into a higher realm of purpose. Chosen one, you are not under threat. You are under transformation, and the enemy knows it. That's why they hired someone to interfere with your spirit, but they will fail. They always fail against the chosen, and by the time you finish hearing this full message, you will understand exactly why. Why they hired a witch for you. Chosen one, listen to me closely now. When people resort to hiring a witch, a dark worker, or anyone who operates in spiritual manipulation, it is never because you did something wrong. It is because you did something right. Darkness does not chase emptiness. It only chases purpose. You have something in you that threatens the very foundation of the people who tried to come against you. And I'm going to break down exactly why they went this far. First, understand this. People fear what they cannot control. And from the moment your light started breaking through the fog around you, certain individuals realized they had no influence over you. You stopped responding the way they wanted. You stopped shrinking. You stopped apologizing for your spirit. You stopped carrying their fears and their insecurities. You started stepping into the identity God has been nudging you toward for years. That scared them. When someone cannot control your mind, they try to control your energy. When they cannot manipulate your emotions, they try to manipulate your path. When they can no longer drain you physically, they look for ways to drain you spiritually. That is when desperation sets in. They begin seeking outside forces because something in you exposes something dark in them. You have to understand how deeply this goes. Your presence alone awakens guilt in the guilty. It awakens fear in the fearful. It awakens jealousy in the insecure. Some people sensed your elevation long before you did. They noticed your growth. They saw your resilience. They felt the divine protection surrounding you. And instead of being inspired or seeking their own healing, they chose the path of envy. Envy is one of the oldest spirits known to mankind. It was envy that caused Cain to turn against his own brother. It was envy that caused Saul to pursue David. It was envy that moved entire nations to betray prophets and messengers of God. And envy, chosen one, is exactly what moved someone to try and spiritually sabotage you. Let me make this clear. They didn't hire a witch because you wronged them. They hired one because your existence disrupts their darkness. You reflect a light they have tried to hide from for years. Your spirit irritates the demons they've entertained. Your progress threatens the identity they built around control, manipulation, and deception. Let me go deeper. For many of you, the person who initiated the attack wasn't a stranger. It wasn't someone far away. It was someone who studied your weakness, someone who watched your habits, someone who pretended to be close to you. The enemy always tries to use someone familiar because familiar spirits gain easier access. And when that person realized they could no longer bind you with emotional games, lies, guilt, or intimidation, they decided to reach into the spiritual realm to stop what God was raising in you. Some of them hired a witch because they saw your blessings forming before they reached you. They sensed breakthroughs coming. They felt the vibration of your spirit rising. They noticed your energy shifting. They saw your confidence growing. They noticed the glow returning to your face. They saw doors opening for you that no one could logically explain. They saw you stepping into favor, into clarity, into alignment. And they knew that if you kept going, nothing and no one would be able to touch you. So instead of healing, instead of bettering themselves, they chose to fight God's choice. And hear me clearly. Someone who fights a chosen one is fighting God himself. That is a losing battle every single time. They hired a witch because they wanted to stop your destiny. But what they don't understand is that your destiny was written long before they were even born. They hired a witch because they wanted to cause confusion in your mind. But God has already renewed your thoughts. They wanted to cause blockages in your path. But God has already cleared the way. They wanted to send spiritual weariness. But God has already restored your strength. They saw qualities in you that they could not destroy. Your resilience, your compassion, your intuition, your ability to rise no matter how many times life has knocked you down. These things terrified them. Why? Because they know that a chosen one with clarity and confidence is unstoppable. Let me tell you something deeper. Some people hire dark workers because they want to interfere with your relationships. They want to isolate you. They want to disconnect you from your supporters, from your blessings, from your destiny helpers. They want to create misunderstandings between you and the people God sent to uplift you. They want to cloud your discernment so you question yourself instead of questioning them. They want you walking in confusion because confusion weakens spiritual authority. But confusion cannot survive in a heart aligned with truth. And truth is exactly what you carry. Some others hire a witch because they want to drain your financial blessings. They sense your prosperity coming. They notice how opportunities begin to align for you, how your name is being spoken in rooms you have never entered, how the divine realm is orchestrating favor on your behalf. And because they lack the discipline, the calling, or the spiritual positioning to receive those blessings themselves, they attempt to interfere with yours. But chosen one, you must hear this. Your blessings are spiritually protected. No one can steal what was granted to your spirit before it manifested in your life. Every attack becomes an opportunity for God to multiply your blessings. Another reason they hired a witch is because your spiritual awakening exposed the truth around you. Once you elevated, you became harder to deceive. You became harder to manipulate. You became harder to mislead. And individuals who built their identity around controlling others felt threatened by your clarity. You started seeing people for who they really are. You started hearing God's voice more clearly. You started noticing things you once ignored. That spiritual sight is dangerous to those who live in shadows. Some people tried to attack you spiritually simply because they wanted to silence your gift. Your words carry power. Your presence brings healing. Your intuition exposes hidden motives. Your journey inspires others. And those who operate in darkness dislike anything that brings light to others. So they attempted to shut down your spiritual influence. But hear me when I say this with authority. No attack against a chosen one goes unanswered by heaven. You are not walking this journey alone. God saw every attempt, every ritual, every word spoken against you. And while they were plotting your downfall, God was preparing your elevation. This is why, despite everything, you're still here. You're still rising, you're still awakening, you're still aligning, you're still protected. Their attempt to spiritually harm you only exposed their own weakness, and it activated a divine shift in your life. Chosen one, the reason they hired a witch for you is simple. Your destiny scared them. Your light irritated them. Your strength offended them. Your resilience humiliated them. And your spiritual elevation exposed them. But they failed to realize one eternal truth. A chosen one is untouchable when aligned with God. What the witch tried to do in the spirit realm. Chosen one, now we enter the part many people do not talk about openly. This is the area most fear, misunderstand, or deny. But you, being chosen, must understand it clearly. Not to fear it, no, never that, but to recognize it. Because recognition is power. Awareness is protection. Discernment is your shield. So listen closely, because I am going to break down what was attempted against you in the unseen realm. When someone hires a witch or a dark spiritual worker, their goal is rarely physical harm. Their main intention is to disrupt your spiritual flow. Darkness knows that if it can disturb your spirit, it can disturb your life. If it can confuse your spirit, it can confuse your decisions. If it can weaken your energy, it can weaken your consistency. If it can cloud your intuition, it can cloud your purpose. Everything begins in the spirit before it manifests in the physical, and the enemy knows that better than most people. The first thing that was attempted against you was energetic interference. They tried to send confusion into your atmosphere. This is why you felt sudden heaviness for no reason, why your thoughts felt scattered at odd times, why you had trouble focusing on your goals. That fog you felt was not random, it was spiritual smog someone tried to project toward you. They wanted to slow your momentum because your momentum was becoming dangerous to their plans. The second tactic they used was dream interference. Chosen ones receive spiritual communication in dreams. Guidance, warnings, revelations, alignment, it all comes in the night. So what do dark workers target? Your dream realm. They attempted to infiltrate your subconscious with strange dreams, nightmares, confusion, or even blank sleep where you woke up feeling exhausted instead of rested. They attempted to block messages God was sending to you. But chosen one, your spirit is too strong. Even when the dream was interfered with, you still woke up with clarity. You still sensed the truth. You still felt the vibration of God's voice beneath the noise. Another thing they tried was emotional destabilization. You might have felt sudden mood shifts, irritability, sadness, or frustration that seemed to appear out of nowhere. This wasn't just emotional turbulence. It was spiritual energy being pushed toward you, trying to agitate your soul. If they could disrupt your emotions, they believed they could disrupt your manifestation. Because emotions fuel intention, and intention fuels destiny. But what they didn't realize is that chosen ones transmute emotional attacks into spiritual strength. Every wave they sent only sharpened your discernment. Then there was isolation energy. This is important. They attempted to make you feel alone, misunderstood, unsupported. They wanted you to distance yourself from people who care. They wanted to weaken the bonds around you. They wanted you isolated because isolation makes you easier to influence spiritually. But instead, what happened? You grew stronger in solitude. You heard God more clearly. You purified your energy. You detached from the wrong people and aligned with the right ones. Their plan backfired magnificently. Another tactic they attempted was energetic monitoring. This is when someone tries to spiritually watch your movements, your emotions, your blessings, your progress. You may have felt like eyes were on you even in empty rooms. You may have noticed sudden messages from people you barely talk to, checking your energy. You may have sensed a presence that felt intrusive. These were monitoring spirits sent to observe your growth. But Chosen One, every time they looked, they saw light. They saw growth. They saw elevation. They saw protection. And that frustrated them even more. They also tried blockage work. This is when dark energy tries to slow down opportunities, delay progress, or create friction in your path. Suddenly, things that should have been easy became difficult. Doors that were wide open felt slightly heavier. But notice something, they never fully closed. You still progressed, you still moved forward, you still succeeded. The blockages made your journey slower, but it never stopped you. Why? Because God holds the master key. No spiritual blockage can override divine timing. For some of you, they attempted relationship disruption. They tried to create misunderstandings between you and people who genuinely care. They tried to stir jealousy, arguments, or confusion with someone close to you. They wanted to break your support system. They wanted you vulnerable. But Chosen Ones attract truth, and truth always exposes falsehood. The wrong people fell away. The right ones became clearer. Those aligned with your spirit remained steady, proving that divine connections cannot be sabotaged by shadows. They also attempted financial draining energy, not by stealing money physically, but by creating spiritual stagnation. Thoughts like, "I don't know what to do next," sudden impulsive spending, fear around finances, unexpected minor expenses. These were attempts to create financial anxiety, because financial stress blocks spiritual flow. But Chosen One, notice how your intuition saved you. Notice how God provided anyway. Notice how unexpected blessings appeared just when you needed them. Their attempts were powerless against divine provision. And then there was identity confusion. They wanted you questioning yourself, questioning your worth, questioning your calling, questioning your path. If they could make you doubt who you are, they could stop you from becoming who you're destined to be. But instead, you became more self-aware. You became more grounded. You became more connected to your truth. Their attempt to confuse your identity only clarified it. Let me say something clearly. Everything they attempted in the spirit realm failed. Not partially, completely. Why? Because your spirit is rooted in God. Your soul is protected. Your purpose is sealed. You are chosen, and chosen ones cannot be overtaken by dark manipulation. Their work only bounces back onto them. Their chains cannot attach to you. Their rituals cannot bind you. Their energy cannot penetrate your shield. But Chosen One, I want you to hear something else with authority. Their attempts did more than just fail. They activated a spiritual law. When darkness tries to harm the chosen, heaven intervenes directly. Every attempt triggers protection. Every attack triggers elevation. Every dark intention triggers divine reversal. This attack was not a sign of weakness in your life. It was a sign of promotion in your spirit. The enemy does not invest in someone who is going nowhere. They targeted you because they sensed the breakthrough forming around you. They sensed blessings stacking in the spirit realm. They sensed that your glow was strengthening. They sensed that God's hand on your life was becoming undeniable. And when darkness senses elevation, it panics. Chosen One, before we continue, I want you to comment one more time. Write 777, 333, 999, 666, or 444 again, whichever number your spirit is connecting to right now. This is simply to affirm your presence in this moment, your awareness and your alignment, because what comes next will reveal everything you've been feeling but couldn't put into words. Signs you were targeted by dark workers. Chosen One, what I'm about to tell you will make many things in your life suddenly click. You will understand experiences you couldn't explain before. You will recognize patterns you thought were random. You will realize that you were not imagining the spiritual pressure around you. You were discerning it. Chosen ones are extremely sensitive to spiritual activity, whether they consciously understand it or not. So let's walk through the signs that reveal you were targeted by dark workers, because your spirit has been trying to tell you this for a long time. The first sign is sudden spiritual heaviness. You were going about your life normally, and out of nowhere, you felt pressure in your atmosphere. Not sadness, not tiredness, pressure. As if something invisible was trying to sit on your spirit. It might have felt like a weight on your chest, a fog in your mind, or a tension in your energy. This heaviness appeared without a natural cause. When dark energy is sent toward you, your spirit detects it instantly. But because chosen ones carry divine protection, that heaviness cannot settle. It flickers, it comes, but it cannot stay. Another sign is strange or recurring dreams. Many chosen ones experience symbolic dreams during spiritual attacks. Running, being chased, seeing shadows, water turning dark, unfamiliar faces staring at you, or dreams that feel off, but you can't explain why. Or sometimes, you simply stop dreaming. Not because your spirit is silent, but because someone attempted to block divine messages. But even in the silence, your intuition stayed active. Even when the dream couldn't come through, you felt the vibration of God speaking beneath the interference. That inner knowing never left. The third sign is unexpected emotional turbulence. One moment you're fine, the next you feel irritated, restless, or unusually sensitive. You feel emotions that don't match your situation. Chosen ones can pick up energies that do not belong to them. When someone sends spiritual manipulation, your emotions temporarily detect the intrusion before your spirit pushes it out. You might have asked yourself, why do I feel like this? This isn't me. And you were right. It wasn't you. Another major sign is people acting oddly toward you. Individuals around you may have suddenly shifted for no clear reason. Someone who once admired you suddenly began avoiding you. Someone calm became irritated with you out of nowhere. Someone who barely noticed you before became strangely fixated on you. Sometimes dark work influences the behavior of spiritually weak individuals. But chosen one noticed something. Those who were truly connected to you spiritually were unaffected. Only the weak links reacted. Only those with hidden envy responded. That alone tells you everything. Then there is interference with your focus and clarity. You know you are wise, disciplined, spiritually aware. Yet suddenly your mind felt cluttered. Tasks you normally do with ease felt unusually draining. You lost motivation for a moment, not because your passion faded, but because someone tried to cloud your clarity. They hoped confusion would weaken your purpose. But clarity returns quickly to the chosen. God does not allow confusion to rest on you for long. What they sent could only linger, not land. Another powerful sign is random setbacks or delays. Things that should have worked smoothly suddenly hit minor obstacles. But pay close attention. These setbacks never fully defeated you. They slowed you down, not because darkness had power, but because God was using the interference to redirect you, protect you, or strengthen your discernment. Every delay protected you from walking into the wrong situation at the wrong time. The attack actually saved you. Chosen ones also experience physical signs when targeted spiritually. Sudden fatigue despite proper rest, waking up at unusual hours, headaches that come and go quickly, or feeling drained after being near certain people. Your body reacts to energy before your mind understands it. Your spirit communicates through sensation, and your intuition translates it as something is off. That was your protection activating. Another sign is unexpected conflict. Out of nowhere, someone tries to provoke you, misunderstand you, or twist your words. This is because dark energy attempts to stir chaos around a chosen one's relationships. If they can't access your spirit directly, they try to reach you through people. But chosen one, notice how quickly these conflicts resolved or fell apart. Notice how truth always revealed itself. Notice how God always exposed the hidden intentions of those who opposed you. Nothing stayed in the dark for long around you. One of the biggest signs is your intuition becoming sharper during the attack. You began sensing lies faster. You felt when someone's energy shifted. You noticed things you once overlooked. Your discernment upgraded. When the enemy attacks a chosen one, God always responds by increasing their insight. The attack didn't weaken you, it activated your spiritual gifts. Another unmistakable sign is unexpected blessings appearing after the warfare. Opportunities, clarity, inner peace, or breakthroughs began surfacing shortly after the thickest spiritual pressure. That's because the attack triggered divine intervention. God always moves after an assault on his chosen. Your rising blessings were confirmation that the attack failed. Here's another sign you probably noticed. The attacker began suffering consequences. Someone who tried to sabotage you suddenly experienced setbacks, loss, exposure, or emotional collapse. Not because you wished harm on them, chosen ones don't operate like that. But because divine justice activates automatically when a chosen one is targeted, their actions boomeranged, their intentions reversed, their curses returned to their own doorstep. You didn't have to lift a finger. God handled it. And here is one of the strongest signs. You felt a shift in your spirit before anything physical happened. Chosen ones sense danger, jealousy, betrayal, or spiritual attacks before they manifest. Something inside you whispered, "Be careful. Pay attention. Something is coming." That wasn't fear. That was divine intelligence. The Holy Spirit always warns his chosen. Let me tell you something powerful. The signs weren't meant to scare you. They were meant to inform you. They were evidence that heaven was watching over you the entire time. Chosen one, every sign you experienced was not proof that darkness had access to you. It was proof that darkness was denied access. It was proof that your spiritual defenses were activated. It was proof that God intercepted their intentions before they even reached your doorstep. If any of these signs resonated with you, know this. You were targeted because you carry something sacred. You were attacked because you are spiritually significant. You were chosen long before they even recognized your name. And now that you understand the signs, the next section will show you the most important truth of all, how God turned every single attack into the very catalyst that raised you higher. How God turned the attack into a divine elevation. Chosen one, now we come to the part your spirit has been waiting for. You've understood the attack, you've recognized the signs, and now it's time for you to understand something far more powerful. Every single attempt against you became the very force that lifted you higher. God did not allow the attack because you were weak. He allowed it because you were ready to be elevated. The spiritual pressure you faced was not a punishment, it was spiritual proof that you crossed into a higher dimension of your calling. And what the enemy meant for harm, heaven immediately transformed into divine advancement. You must understand this universal law. Whenever a chosen one is targeted, heaven shifts. It moves, it rearranges, it aligns. The moment dark energy is sent your way, God takes notice. Not because he fears the attack, but because he sees the level you are rising to. Before the enemy even finished plotting, God had already drafted the victory. Before the ritual was spoken, God had already written the reversal. Before the witch even attempted their work, God had already neutralized it. Not only neutralized, he repurposed it. Instead of harming you, it strengthened you. Instead of weakening you, it awakened you. Instead of blocking you, it blessed you. The enemy thought they were launching a spiritual assault, but all they did was activate your breakthrough. Let me explain how this works. When someone sends dark energies toward a chosen one, the chosen one's spiritual sensitivity becomes sharper. Your intuition rises to a level it hasn't reached before. You start seeing people differently. You start noticing patterns you used to miss. You start feeling the truth in situations without having to investigate. This was not paranoia. This was spiritual elevation. The attack forced you into deeper discernment. It unlocked a gift that was always inside you, but dormant. God allowed the enemy to poke at you only to reveal the power you didn't know you had. You became more intuitive, more alert, more spiritually aware. That alone is elevation. But that's not all. The attack purified your relationships. Every single person who fell away during that season was meant to fall away. This attack flushed out hidden enemies. It revealed fake friends. It exposed people who smiled at you but held silent resentment. It pushed away those who could not walk with you into your next chapter. God used the pressure to separate you from those whose energy could not exist in your destiny. You didn't lose people. You were released from them. The attack made it unmistakably clear who was aligned with you and who was not. And this clarity is part of your elevation. Because when God elevates someone, He cleans their environment first. Chosen one, you also need to understand something important. The attack forced you inward. It drove you back into prayer, back into reflection, back into God's presence. It pulled you into spiritual stillness. You learned to trust your intuition again. You reconnected with your purpose. You started seeking answers from God instead of seeking validation from people. You found strength in solitude. You found clarity in silence. You began hearing divine instructions without interference. This inward shift was not weakness. It was preparation for your rise. God used the attack to bring you back into alignment with Himself. Another way God elevated you is through your resilience. The enemy expected you to crumble, to fall apart, to lose yourself. But chosen ones are built differently. Instead of breaking, you began transforming. You didn't collapse under pressure. You adapted. You didn't drown in confusion. You rose with clarity. You didn't run in fear. You stood in authority. And this resilience reshaped your identity. You are no longer who you were before the attack. You're wiser now. You're quicker to discern. You're slower to trust the wrong people. You've grown spiritually in a way that can never be reversed. And the enemy's attempts only made you stronger. And here's something even deeper. The attack activated divine justice. Every plot formed against you triggered consequences for those who attempted them. Not because you wished it, but because touching a chosen one carries spiritual repercussions. The energy they tried to project onto you ricocheted. The curses they whispered toward you reversed back into their own lives. The manipulation they sent toward your path shattered their own stability. The monitoring spirits they used exposed their own insecurities. While they were working in darkness, God was watching everything. And heaven does not take lightly when someone tries to interfere with a divine assignment. Instead of harming you, the attack damaged the ones who initiated it. This is divine justice in motion. This is elevation disguised as warfare. But elevation doesn't stop there. God used the spiritual interference to realign your path. Some of the delays you faced were not blockages, they were redirections. God allowed certain things to slow down so He could position you properly. He allowed certain doors to close because those doors were traps. He rerouted you around people who intended to harm you. He shifted your timeline so you wouldn't walk into the wrong situation at the wrong moment. Every delay was protection. Every inconvenience was preparation. Everything that seemed like resistance was working behind the scenes to place you exactly where you needed to be. Then, chosen one, came the blessings. After the attack, your spirit opened in a new way. Opportunities began aligning more clearly. Ideas began flowing more naturally. Your confidence increased. Your ability to manifest grew stronger. God began bringing new connections into your life, people aligned with your purpose, with your spirit, with your calling. This attack expanded your spiritual capacity. It enlarged your territory. It increased your authority. You unlocked abilities you didn't even know you possessed. And perhaps the most powerful elevation of all is this. The attack revealed your identity to you. Before the attack, you knew you were different. You knew you were called. But now you know you are chosen. The attack was confirmation, not theoretical, not symbolic, spiritual confirmation. If you were not chosen, no one would bother hiring a witch against you. If you were not powerful, no one would attempt to block your path. If your destiny was insignificant, No one would invest this much energy trying to sabotage it. The attack validated your importance in the spirit realm. Your enemies recognized your power even before you did. And now, because of all this, you stand in a higher spiritual position. Your frequency increased, your anointing increased, your discernment increased. You stepped into a new realm of spiritual maturity, and this elevation is permanent. You cannot unsee what you've seen. You cannot unknow what you now know. You cannot shrink back into who you were before. The attack awakened something in you that cannot be put back to sleep. Chosen one, God turned the attack into enlightenment. He turned the interference into clarity. He turned the darkness sent toward you into elevation. And now you are standing stronger than ever. Understand something. Chosen ones rise after every attack. Not because they are perfect, but because they are protected, destined, and divinely supported. Nothing used against you succeeded. Not one attempt touched your destiny. Everything worked for your good. You are not the same person who entered the battle. You came out wiser, clearer, stronger, and spiritually transformed. And whether you realize it yet or not, you've already stepped into your next level. Conclusion. Chosen one, now that you've heard the truth from beginning to end, I want you to take a deep breath and recognize something powerful. You survived what was meant to break you. You walked through a spiritual storm that many people would never have endured. And you didn't just survive, you transformed, you awakened, you elevated. What was sent to destroy your mind only sharpened your spirit. What was meant to confuse you only clarified your purpose. What was meant to block your path pushed you closer to your destiny. This entire experience was not a sign that you were weak. It was the ultimate sign that you are chosen. Not one attack succeeded, not one curse landed, not one ritual penetrated your divine protection. God stood between you and every dark intention. Heaven surrounded you. Your angels worked overtime on your behalf. And now, after all of this, you are stepping into a new season, a season of confirmation, a season of clarity, a season where your spirit is untouchable. What tried to break you has now become proof of your spiritual authority. You are not walking blindly anymore. You are not doubting yourself anymore. The fog has lifted. Your discernment is stronger. Your intuition is louder. Your spirit is brighter. And the enemy knows it. That's why the attacks failed. Because your destiny is too powerful to be interfered with. Chosen one, I want you to share your thoughts below. Let me know how this message resonated with your spirit. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell icon, and share this message with another chosen soul who needs this truth. Walk confidently now. You are protected, you are guided, you are chosen, and nothing formed against you will ever prosper.